Hi, Eric here. This morning we are going to talk about testing the pool. We need to test it every day, of course. Make sure that you keep your notes in your log. So, we're going to look at the chlorine this morning. So we get our vial, rinse it a few times. Then when you take your sample, you want to hold this upside down and go down deep, about elbow deep, and then turn it up. And then for the chlorine test, if you read the instructions here, it's going to tell you we're going to use the 9 milliliter vial. Now, if you look here, you can see that the surface tension of the water kind of makes a, kind of like a concave on the top there. You want the bottom of that bubble. It's not really a bubble, but you want the bottom to be right there at that line. And that's pretty close. We can probably get it a little closer. That's pretty good. So, what we're going to do is take 5 drops of agent number 1. We're going to take 5 drops of agent number 2. We're going to mix that up. So when you're doing your chlorine, there's really 2 tests that we're doing. We're doing our total chlorine and our available, or our active chlorine and our available chlorine. So then we're going to compare the color to the side here. That looks like it's about 3 parts. Now you're going to notice it says CL with a bunch of numbers and BR with a bunch of numbers. This is for chlorine, and that's for bromine. We're not using bromine, we're using chlorine, so we're just concerned about this first row. And if we compare the color, I mean, it looks like, yeah, it's really kind of between the 2 and the 3. We're going to go with 3 on that, so we're going to log that. Now we need to add 5 drops of agent number 3, and that's going to tell us our total chlorine. Now your available chlorine and your total chlorine should always be the same. If they're not, then you're going to need to shock the pool. You've got, I guess, chloramines present, and they inhibit the chlorine from doing its job. So to me, that really didn't change colors. That's good. So when I log this, the way I'm logging it, if you take a look here, we got 3 parts free chlorine, and we've got 0, or we have a difference of 0 between our free and our available chlorine. You want to do your tests in the morning. That way, if you do need to make an adjustment, you've got time before the bathers show up. Something else to remember, if you need to make an adjustment on the chlorine, before you can adjust your chlorine, you need to have your pH balanced, okay? And before you can balance your pH, you have to have your alkalinity balanced, all right? So we test them in the opposite order, but if you're going to do adjustments, make sure the alkalinity is correct before the pH is correct, before the chlorine is correct. So with that, thank you very much.